What we're going to do today is we're going to try to burn this cedar stump in my yard. It's been here about 7 years. I cut both ends out of this barrel and I'm going to stick it on there and I'm going to load it up with a bunch of wood and we're going to set it on fire. I've dug a lot of the dirt around the stump away so that it will burn as effectively as it possibly can. I'll probably have to reposition the stump or the barrel on the stump a few different times to get it completely burned. But let's get the barrel on there, load it up, and light it on fire. Got the fire going, got some wood in there. Barrel's starting to heat up, burn that paint off. I squirted some mineral spirits at the bottom just to get it going pretty quick. We'll see how it goes. It's about 9:30 in the morning. We'll check back in about an hour. Okay, it's about 10:30, 10:45 right now. I just put some more wood in it. It's doing pretty good. This is a big stump though. I've seen other videos on YouTube and the stumps that they did fit inside the barrel. So I'm not too sure how this is gonna work, but it seems to be working pretty good. We'll check in on it in another hour or so, see how it's doing. Okay, so here we are. It's almost noon, about 11:45. We probably burned about 4 inches. It's burning around even outside the stump, so it's working really well. I'm going to blow the ashes out. That seems to help to give it just a little bit of air. It's working pretty good. A lot better than digging it out. I can take care of these little roots if they're separated from the main tree. So we'll keep adding wood to it and checking in on it. Okay, it's 1:30. I made the mistake of putting 2 of those big rotted out pieces in it. That created 2 problems. One, the barrel was top heavy, and when it shifted it tipped over, and I don't know how long it was laying there, maybe a half an hour. So I lost most of the coals that were in the barrel that were on top of the stump. So I've learned to use smaller pieces of wood, so that creates little coals that keep the stump burning. Don't use big pieces of wood. So I have since then threw in a bunch of little pieces. But overall, I think it's going pretty good. It seems to take a lot of wood though. Like if I were to burn this whole stump this way, I would probably go through a lot of wood. So I'm hoping to get the center burned out of it, and then I will try to take care of most of these side roots. What I use to cut roots is a sawzall with a 9-inch pruning blade, because it doesn't get dull like a chainsaw. Chainsaw, as soon as you touch the dirt, it's dull. So you can stuff the sawzall blade right in the dirt and it bends if you need it to, and it works really super well. A nice sharp Diablo pruning blade. You can get them 9-inch, 5 in a pack for less than 10 bucks. So that's what I use on all my stumps, and I've already did that one, and I did one over there, and I got one over here that I just stacked a bunch of stuff on and lit it on fire, and it didn't really work too good. But this thing was massive. This thing was probably 8 feet across at the dirt line and probably at least 6 feet across at the top. And then I have this one that was really rotted out in the center, so I think that one will be easier to take care of. And then I also have this one over here, which this one is massive. It's probably 7 feet across at its widest point, and probably more like 10 or 12 feet across when you get down to the level of the lawn. So it's a long project. I've managed to get 2 of them gone. I know I could just hire a stump grinder, but that's expensive, and I don't like spending money on stuff that I can do myself. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to burn the center out of this stump, and then I will work on making the roots on the side smaller. So I'll check back on it here in a couple more hours. It's about 5 o'clock right now. I haven't done anything other than fill it full of wood and reposition it a little bit, blow off the ash, but it's actually doing pretty good for not really doing any work. It's actually working out pretty well. I mean, this is a cedar. The one I dug out last weekend was really wet, so I think this is doing really well. I'm sure if the stump fit inside the barrel, it would have been totally gone, but as you can see, it's burned quite a bit around the barrel. It's actually doing pretty good. I just loaded it up, and I'm going to run down the street and have dinner at the neighbors, and I probably will not refill it before I go to bed, just so I don't have to worry about it. Anyways, I'll do a video in the morning. Okay, well, it's the next morning, so I think it did pretty good. It burned down probably almost a foot in spots and maybe 6 inches in other spots, but overall I think it went pretty well for a stump this big. I think I'll work on getting some of the roots and making it just smaller and easier to put the barrel back on. But for right now, I'm kind of done with the barrel until I get some more cut up. But overall, I think it went pretty good. I used probably 2.5 wheelbarrows full of wood, and then some other little scrap pieces that I had laying around. So I think if the stump fit inside the barrel, I think it would have been gone by now. But it burned probably a foot in every direction away from the barrel, so thought that was pretty good. Anyways, if you want to give it a try on your stump, I think it'll work. Bye.